everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It's been a while, and as you can see, I'm a very hairy man. Who is this guy? I have got about 11 or 12 days growth, I think. I can't wait to knock it off. I've been in for an operation in my throat. I've had a few things done. I'm not going to get into it because I'm actually quite tired, so let's just get stuck into the shave. So this was sent from Pearl. Now this is the second box that I've received. The first one that I got, as you've probably seen from a lot of other YouTubers or WetTubers or whatever you want to call them, had a few issues. So I found that the blade gap was going at a slant, similar to what Kevy Shaves experienced and a couple of other guys. So I sent them an email before using the razor saying, look, I'm not happy to use it until it either gets fixed or I'll just never use it, that sort of thing. So they said, look, don't use it, there's a few issues, we're going to fix it and we'll send you another one. And this is it. Now this came in the box with that box there, the razor, came with 50 of these Willys DE blades, which you've seen me use before. They're actually a very good blade. And they also sent a couple of soaps. They sent a little one here. This one's called Pearl Man. Pearl Man, I think, is the actual brand of the soap. Let me just check. Yeah, so that's the brand of the soap. And this one's called Coffee Up or Coffee OP. Now this smells. It almost smells very much like a hot chocolate to me. I suppose it's supposed to be like coffee, but it's like almost like a mocha sort of thing, like slight coffee but mainly chocolate. Very nice scent, quite a dark soap. The other one that they sent was Shaver's Spirit. Now these are little tubs, so I've preloaded my brush because I don't have a lot of room to work with, so it took me a while to load them up. Now, reasonably clean ingredients, as you can hopefully see there. So stearic acid, palmitic acid, myristic acid, coconut oil. What's that one? Sodium EDTA. I'm sure that's some sort of salt thing, I'm not sure. Titanium dioxide, I don't know why that's in there. That sort of puts me off a little bit, I don't know why there's titanium dioxide in here. Fragrance, and then DM water, which I am assuming is pure water, or demineralized, which I would call pure water. I think that's what that is, but don't quote me on it. Anyway, I've got my brush loaded. I hope there's enough soap in it. I have test lathered this soap once. There we go. So I'm going to lather up first and then talk about the razor while I'm doing it. Now the razor I have used probably five or six times since I received it. I haven't done a video on it yet. I wanted to sort of get a feel for it this time rather than just a straight out of the box first impressions like I normally do. There's a hair there. And I have to be honest and say it's a pretty good shaver. It doesn't set the world on fire. It's not as good as the Carve. It's not even as good as the Home Light Tiger. But I think they're about $50, something like that. It's not a bad little shaver. Now it does have supposedly 6 shaving settings. I get about 5.5. If I force it to 6, it brings up that blade angle thing again, where I will show you on the video. So as you can see so far, got a lot of coverage. I haven't added any water yet. Just going to dip the tips. You can see how much growth I've got there. So this is going to be a test. I will use this on 5.5. which is the highest setting I can go to. And then I'll drop it down maybe to 3 for the second pass and then 1 for the final pass. We'll see. And as with my test lather, this is lathering up very, very well. It does say on here proudly made in India. To be honest with you, I've not shaved with it yet, but so far, just based on lathering, very easy to work with. The scent on this one, you can smell it anyway, it's like a fresh, clean cologne type scent. That's what I would probably say, it's down that sort of road. Now Pearl Shaving, to me, they're quite a new company, I think, to me, but from what I can see, it looks like they've had products around for a long time. I think I Am CDB might have used them a long time ago when he was the Shaving Evangelist, was it? Yes, I can't remember what his old channel used to be called. I love the tips on this knot. It's got some moisture in here. My plan was really to use a soap I was familiar with, but I thought, familiar with the razor a bit now, I know how roughly it's going to shave, maybe not with this amount of growth. Do you know what, I think that's pretty good stuff. Just going to dip the tips and just paint a bit of water in. And that'll be me done. You can see just how much lather has been created. It was not a task to load the brush, but it took me a while. Right, there we go, look at that. Oh, nearly lost it, nearly lost it. Pretty good stuff. It's a little bit airy, but it feels dense, which is good. Right, to the razor. Well, this is sitting in my face. Comes in a nice box. Your doorway to the incredible world of classic wet shaving, and it really is. When you pop this open, you get a little magnetic catch. You get your little thank you card. There's a little microfiber cloth in there to keep it clean, and then you've got your razor and your stand. Now, the razor and the stand are reasonably well made. They are brass. They are coated brass or plated brass, whatever you want to call it. The stand's a little bit cheap looking with the plastic on the bottom of this sort of rubber. I think it would have been a bit nicer just with like a rubber O-ring rather than just a big chunk of sort of blue plastic on the bottom. But it does its job. That is the razor. It is fully adjustable. So you've got your settings here. Setting 1, and then you turn it to that side there. And you'll see the gap here, slowly going up. So that's it pretty much as far as I'm willing to take it. Now if I bring that around there, you'll see it is almost at 6. Not quite, but almost. Now I can, so at the moment you can probably see the blade gap. It's pretty good. It's pretty spot on. If I force it to 6, you can see straight away, see it running down that way. Running down the hill there. It's not much, but it's enough. I notice it. So as long as I don't tighten it all the way, take it all the way back to 1, and then loosen it. Oh, open it all the way up to 5.5 or 5.7 or whatever you want to call it. It's a pretty perfectly even blade gap. I'm quite happy with it, but it just doesn't quite match perfectly. In fact, I've almost turned that all the way there. I mean, it's not a million miles away. You know, it's a little bit, when I look at it right here, it's not sat directly under the 6. On the camera it looks like it is, but it's not. Anyway, the other issue I find with this one in comparison to the other razor, so it's a twist it open, it's a 2-piece, twist that, so that is it now open. Now there's a problem with this. I don't know whether it's a problem of mine or everyone's got the same thing. When I put this in, I expect it to go all the way in with the blade. It doesn't, it stops there. So I can spin that. I expect that to go all the way down with the blade. So what I've got to do now is hold it steady and then push up here. And as it's drawing it down, I've got to then wiggle this around to get it in the holes. It's a bit of a pain. I'd rather just push it straight down like you do with the Tiger, the Rex Ambassador, even the last Pearl shave. The last Pearl one that I used, the Pearl Flexi, it went all the way down. This one doesn't. So let's get our blade, which is here. Willys Premium. They're really, really good blades. I've been very impressed with them. They are double wrapped. From memory there's a little bit of wax but not loads. So what we do is we pop that on there, like so. And this is where it becomes a bit of a pain. So I can't really hold the side of the blade now, so that is as far on as I can get that. But as you can see, it still spins, even with the blade on. So you need to be careful. Push up on there, screw it down, then I need to wiggle a bit, that's it in. It's set, pop it down, and it's done. Now let's just take it back to setting 1, and you'll see that the blade gap is pretty good. Now I have also noticed there is a finishing issue. In fact, you can probably just see it just on this side of the top cap, on the edge of it. You can see where it's sort of, you can see where it looks sort of rough. It's the same on both sides. See it? So this side it's not shining here, but it's shining on the other side where it's a bit rough. So where that shiny part is, it's not been finished off very well. It's plated brass. It's a very heavy razor, but it just hasn't been finished to a super high standard, really, in my opinion. I'm just going to pop another little bit. It's not dissipating, I'm just popping a bit more on. Right, so here we go with the Pearl Flexi. Setting 6, which I'm just going to put it on now. Where are we? Oh, setting, yeah, so setting 5.5 with the blade in. And as you can see, the blade gap is pretty good. It's pretty straight, I'm pretty happy with it. And here we go, with so, well, 10 plus days growth. That was buttery smooth. Oh God, that feels great. It was extremely smooth. I may end up with some weepers, but you can see it's knocking the hair down very, very easily. I know there'll be people saying shave your freaking head, but I just can't be arsed that. Honestly, I've had so many issues. With my health and doctors and hospitals and work and not in work and back at work, just can't be bothered, so I went with the old grow it back for a little bit. This actually feels nicer than it has done. I mean, you can see there, it's just melting the hair away. is rinsing out perfectly, no problems at all. So that's the first pass with the Pearl Flexi. Now, Kevy Shave still had issues with his second one that he received. He did a shave with it. Look, by all accounts, it's a great little shave, and mine seems to be better than most. I think mine seems to have quite reasonably good quality control. But like I say, I did have one before. It wasn't the best, but I supposedly fixed it, so I'm just going to rinse the razor under the warm water, and then I'll get it back up again. There is setting 6. I'm just going to turn it down to setting 3. So there we go. And I'll wet my face. Let's have a look at this. Residual slickness. It's actually not too bad, considering there wasn't a lot of soap left in my face. It feels pretty good. And from one pass, it's a little bit under there, but from one pass there's not a whole heap left. I can tell you right now, it feels a whole lot better. Right, setting 3 across the grain, second pass. Let's see how it goes. Alright, it's lacking a little bit of slickness. The soap is performing okay, but it is lacking slightly. And even though it's a heavy razor, I never feel really, it's very comfortable to use. It's got reasonable grip. It's not the best grip, but it's pretty good. You know, you get what you pay for in the world with most things. I mean, if you said to me, you had the option of this for $50, or you can pay an extra $50 and get a carve, I'd get a carve. But if you want an infinite adjustability from 1 to 6, yeah, the soap is okay. It's definitely not in what I deem the sort of elite bracket. I mean, it's got enough for a shave, you know, of course, obviously I've shaved with it. There's enough slickness there. But it's, right, let's take this down to 1 now. Is it that way? Yeah. So that's it on one. I don't know whether I'm having a reaction to it as well, but it could be just the fact that I haven't shaved for so long. I've used setting 6 and I might just have scraped my skin just a little bit too much. There we go, setting 1. For me, this is where this razor shines. Oh, need to excuse the messy bedroom behind me. It's a very, very smooth shaver on setting 1. Against the grain, it's pretty comfortable. Once again, it's not in the Carve and Tiger range. I find them very, very comfortable against the grain, but it's still comfortable. I'm just going to pop a little bit of soap there. Yeah, this is sticky soap sometimes. Lovely scent. It's a nice scented soap. So, pretty happy with that really. Can't really grumble, can I? Let's rinse off. Rinse the brush out. Oh, 24 minutes, that's not too bad. Now I did lose one hair from my brush earlier, and I think it's because I was loading it in that tiny little tub. It's not great. It's not a great idea to load a big knot in a tiny tub, especially when it's got sort of sharp edges of plastic and things around the rim of the tub. Really, the best option is to pop it all in a bowl and lather from the bowl. Don't have a loose hair there, but I don't. Yes, I've got myself down there a little wee bit, but other than that, been a pretty good shave. So I am going to finish off with some Codex Skin Superfood, which I have been using religiously-ish. I mean, I never achieve a BBS face shave, at least. I do on the head, but never on my face. I've come close. But this little razor will get you pretty close to it. It's very comfortable, it is well built, it's well engineered, it's heavy, it's comfortable to hold, it's smooth, you know, it's not a rough shave by any stretch of the imagination. It's a very comfortable razor to use, and it's still not perfect. It's nowhere near perfect, if I'm honest, when you take into consideration things like the Tiger from Homelight, which is far more refined than this, and it's solid stainless, whereas this is plated brass. And then you've also got the Rex Ambassador, which I've never used, but I have held it in my hands, I have opened it, I have played around with it a little bit, and it's once again a beautifully built little razor. Now this is quite short, which I like. It's heavy, but there's just a few issues. One of the main issues being once you unscrew this here, so you can see there now, blade, the top cap comes off, so that top cap's loose. To focus, the top cap's loose, but it doesn't go all the way down. And you've got your blade, like I say, you pop that back in, it just spins. That should go down all the way as far as I'm concerned. Should go right in. I've tried pushing it, I've tried pulling this out, this doesn't come out, so whatever they put inside the O-ring or whatever it is, this metal ring inside, doesn't come out. I can't get it out to even have a look and see whether I can fix it. But it is a bit of a problem, it certainly is. I'm just going to pop that back on. So I've got to sort of push up here, and then I've got to adjust, and then it was. It's not a major issue, but it's just a flaw. It's something that could have been fixed and sorted. They have fixed the blade gap, not perfectly, but it's pretty damn close now. I'm quite happy with it now in terms of that. In terms of the shave, I know it's not going to be sitting at an angle, it's going to cut well, and it's very smooth. But yeah, so if you are interested in this razor at all and picking one up, I think they're $50, but don't quote me on that. But I will pop all the details down below in the description of who you have to email, if you get any questions, pop them over to Pearl Shaving as well via that email, and they can hook you up with actually picking one of these up. The shipping itself was pretty quick when I found that it was shipped. It was here within sort of 2 weeks to Australia during we're still going through a COVID pandemic sort of thing at the moment. Not so much in Australia, but I know the world's going through it. And it gets here pretty fast. It's well shipped, it's well packaged as well. And dealing with Pearl themselves, they're actually really nice to deal with. They do appear to have very good customer service, and they are willing to try and help at every step of the way to make sure the experience is good. And look, they're made in India, you know, it's not made in China. As far as I'm aware, these are made in India. The soap's made in India. The blades are made in India. I think, in fact, the blades might be made in Russia. The blades made in Russia? Or have I got that wrong? No, there we go, made in India. So it's all made in India. Now, that's a good thing really, because I know Indian things that have come out of there generally, they're not too bad in terms of quality. And really this is a nice shaver. It's well built, it just needs a few more refinements, and I hope they do that along the way as they start releasing more of these, start refining it more and getting that quality control sorted, so they're sending out a product that everyone will be happy with. And anyway, with that, if you've got any questions, comments, pop them down below. And other than that, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.